Good evening, everybody. It's Uncle AJ again on the channel called The View from Serendipity. If you haven't watched my other videos, episodes 1 through 3, I retired last Friday, so I have a little bit of free time on my hand. So I want to touch upon one of the subjects that I mentioned in episode 1 under hobbies. Real estate. Just became kind of like a quasi-hobby because in 35 years, this is my 5th house. My first house was way out in the countryside, in the middle of nowhere, in the lovely state of Maryland. I was just 2 years into my career as a computer programmer, wanted to get a house, eventually start a family, and, that would be the American dream. As I said, that was 35 years ago. I bought this lovely Cape Cod in the middle of nowhere in the countryside. 2 miles from the nearest bar, which the bar stools had duct tape on them. Nearest nice bar, restaurant, supermarket, department store was 10 miles away. I had to stop in during the week on the way home from work, and I had a 45-mile commute each way, and get groceries and whatnot. And on Fridays I'd stop in for a couple of cocktails at the restaurant, the nice restaurant, before going home. Lesson learned. Do not buy a house in the middle of nowhere where nobody else wants to live except people that want to live in the middle of nowhere. Location is super important. This, my 5th house, my retirement house, is inside city limits in a medium-sized city here in Southwest Florida. It's close to restaurants, it's got close to bars. The supermarket is right around the corner, literally. There's a couple of Wally Worlds within a 10-minute drive. There are the big box stores, hardware stores nearby. There's like 3 or 4 locations within 10 minutes. So great location. Location is very important. Good neighborhood. You can fix your house. You can't fix your neighborhood. This was the 3rd house, this retirement house. House number 5 was the 3rd house I looked at this Saturday morning back in May of 2017. First 2 houses, not good neighborhoods. Cars parked in the front yard, couches on the porch. One house had basically the washer draining out in the backyard, which is illegal and a code violation. So we moved on till we came to this house. Great neighborhood, good location, a little smaller than I wanted. It turned out to be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Anyway, made an offer, had to adjust the offer, which I'll get into shortly, and bought the house 7.5 years ago. New versus old. New, you can get incentives. Like my new house that I bought 35 years ago, I think the incentive was basically upgrades on the cabinets and the carpet and stuff like that, not money incentives. Now you can get money incentives because developers and builders are desperate to sell and move new homes, so they're offering finance, rebates, contributions towards closing costs, and they're even working with real estate brokers, banks, and mortgage companies to get you below market rates, maybe by half a point or something. With old homes, you can negotiate. I negotiated on this house. This house failed 2 roof inspections. The general inspection, where the guy went up on the roof, said this is not going to pass inspection. He didn't say it's not going to, but he says it doesn't pass inspection, insurance company isn't going to insure it. So I told him, he said, let's get a roof inspector. Roof inspector went up 4 days later. He confirmed what the general inspector said. Roof needs to be replaced, it's uninsurable. So I went back and negotiated with the guy. We got him to drop the price by $5,000. The roof cost me $7,500 a couple of months later, but case in point. You can negotiate on an old house, especially if it needs a little bit of work. Financing and affordability, the 3X rule. Financing, I have an MBA, I'm not tooting my horn, I got straight A's in finance. I know a little bit about interest rates, repayments, cost of a loan and whatnot. But affordability, 3X rule, really important. Somebody told me this 32 years ago. And I kind of like follow this even with this house. 3X rule basically says try not to exceed the value of a house or the price of a house that's 3 times your income. If you're a young single person making 80 grand a year, try to keep it between 240, 250,000. Same thing with a married couple. If you're making 150,000 combined, try to keep it around 450 to 500,000. It's $500,000 about what homes cost nowadays. Reason is because you don't want to be house poor, which is basically you bought a house where you can't afford to go out to eat, you can't afford to maintain your car, maintain the house, travel or anything else. You know, don't be house poor. I know some people that are in my family that are like that. Is it a home or investment? This is their biggest asset. Unless you're a millionaire, multi-millionaire, which you're not going to be watching this video anyway. It's going to be your biggest asset. A home is both something you live in and it's your largest investment. Okay? Unless you've got $500,000 sitting in your bank account, your home is going to be your biggest investment. Okay? So be aware of that, and that leads us to the next step. Do an inspection. Whether it's a new or an old house, do an inspection. My new house, 2 years later, started needing repairs and maintenance. Okay? Older homes, they usually need repairs and maintenance right off the get-go. So, repairs and maintenance. And why? Because it maintains the value of the house and your house appreciates. Historically, the U.S. government's been tracking the rate of appreciation on real estate for the past 50 or 60 years. And typically it's about between 3 and 4% a year, okay? Which is barely above the current inflation rate. And was below the inflation rate back in the 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and the aughts. So right now, we're in a crazy time because of the pandemic and the after effects of the pandemic. So home prices have jumped 50%, some 100%. During the height of the pandemic, my little retirement home, 2-bedroom, 2-bungalow, doubled in price, which was because crazy. I mean, you go on Zillow and it's worth twice as much as what I paid for it, and that was crazy. So, at any rate, so value and appreciation. Maintain the house. Your house will appreciate. It's your biggest asset. Eventually, you may want to move up to a bigger house. You want to get your money out of your current house. If you're downsizing, again, you know, you're slightly older, kids are getting ready to fly the nest, and you're going looking to downsize. Again, maintain the house because you may have enough equity in your big home that you can pay cash for your next smaller home. Anyway, that's sort of like a quick lesson on real estate. My 35 years of buying and selling homes. Like I said, this is not house number 5. The first one in the countryside is house number 1 location. Do not buy something you can fix your house up, you can't fix your neighborhood. Okay? I know horror stories about people buying nice homes in bad neighborhoods. You can't fix a bad neighborhood. You can fix an old house, a house that needs TLC. All right? Okay, that's the end of this lesson, this episode. Hope you got something out of it. Thanks for watching my channel. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.